Good morning Year 5 and welcome to day 4 of fractions. So first of all, here are yesterday's answers and I have put the workings out at the bottom for you so you can see how I got to the simplest form. Hopefully you got on well with that. So today we're moving on to it's the same concept, but this time instead of proper fractions like that, we're going to look at mixed numbers. So just to remind you, a mixed number is when a number is made up of a whole number and a fraction. Okay, so we're going to do an example where we're adding and then an example where we're taking away, and then you've got some to try at home. So our calculation is 1.5 add 2 3/4. Technically what we're doing is we're doing the whole numbers first and then we are doing the fractions. So we've got 1 whole and 2 wholes. So we've already got 3 wholes, one here. I'm going to do it in colours and you'll see why in a minute. And so they can stay the same. But then we've got 1/2 and 3/4, and we know when we're adding or taking away fractions, we need them to have the same denominator. So I've changed them into 12ths. You could have changed them into 8ths. You could have changed them into quarters. It doesn't matter either way. I just thought I would do this to show you. So 1.5, so it's 1 part out of 2 equal parts. So you can see from the picture up there, it's going to be 6/12 like that. And then 3/4 over here is going to be, if we just copy that down to here, 9/12. And you can see that visually because this amount is the same as this amount. Or you could do what we were doing earlier in the week to find the equivalent. So what I've ended up with is 1 and 6/12 on this side, and 2 and 9/12 on this side. So 1 and 2 we know is 3, so that's 3 whole ones. But we've then got 6/12 and 9/12. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 6 of these 12s, these 6 here, and I'm going to put them with these 12s. I'll cross them out as well so we can see that they've gone and we don't count them twice. Hopefully what you can see is what we've now ended up with is an extra whole 1 and 3/12. So let me show you what that looks like. So if I show you on a whiteboard how it looks in the abstract, we've got 1 and 6/12, add 2 and 9/12. Now if we just take it separately, we've got 3 whole numbers, and then we've got 6/12 add 9/12, and I know from yesterday's lesson that my denominator stays the same, and I add together my numerators. That gives me 15/12. Now that's what we call an improper fraction. Some people call it a top-heavy fraction. The numerator is bigger than the denominator. So we know we've got more than a whole one there. Because if we were talking 12ths, 12 of those 12ths would be another whole one. So what we've actually got here is 3 whole ones, another whole one, that's this one here, and 3/12 left. So 3 and 15/12 is the same as 4 and 3/12, because 12 of those 12ths have made an extra one, which you can see here from the visual. Okay, so moving on to the subtraction, same concept as before. We've got 3 and 5/6, take away 2 and 1/2. And again, I've used the denominator 12 for 6 and 2, because that's a common multiple of both of them. So first of all, changing them then. So the top one, 3 and 5/6, is the same as 3 and 10/12. Okay? And then 2 1/2 is the same as 2 whole ones and 6/12. So that's what I've got there. I'm just going to put that in there so we can see. I've got 3 and 10/12. And I'm taking away 2 and 6/12. So because we're taking away, we're going to start by building this one. So I'm just going to copy that down here. 3 whole ones and 10/12. And then I'm going to cross out 2 whole ones and 6 of those 12s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm left with 1 and 4/12. And thinking about the work we did on Tuesday about simplest form, I can change that 4/12. I can divide both those numbers by 4 and I can end up with 1 and 1/3. Okay, have a go. Some of the subtraction ones for you to try at home are quite tricky because you need to use your understanding of how many of each fraction make a whole one. We have recapped on that, so give it a go and see how you get on, and then tomorrow I'll come back with the answers.